We were just listening to Taylor Swift, and I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. I cancelled a meeting. I moved a filming. I did everything to be able to get these tickets, and I didn't get any. Hi guys, welcome back to the group chat. Daisy and I are joined by Kate and Lou Northcote, who I'm sure lots of you have seen before because we interviewed you a few episodes ago. I feel like that was actually a while ago.
Yeah, it was actually a few months ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god, time.
I know. It's nice to have you back.
Good to have you back.
Having me. I'm excited to be doing it with all of you today.
Yeah. I feel like we need
And
to
you got the
preface.
memo.
I know.
Yeah,
I
we've all
literally.
really-
God, that's so funny.
We're colour coordinated.
Perfect.
I was going to say, I feel like we need to preface this episode with being like, we had our summer party last night. So we're like a little bit worse for wear. Not that bad. We didn't go that hard last night, did we?
No, I feel quite fresh.
I know.
Honestly, you guys
Not gonna
look
lie,
fresh.
I felt
I feel
jaded
fresh
this
now.
morning.
I felt groggy this morning, and I did wake up at about 3 a.m. and I was like, I need water.
Do you have any tips? Because I actually had a conversation with friends the other day. I have one tip that
Oh,
I
yeah?
think solves all hangovers.
Okay, yeah, go. Tell us.
Order an acai bowl. And that sounds super weird.
What,
but
when
I
you
think
get
there's-
back?
Like, no, in the morning
Do
when
this.
you feel so bad. Because I feel like there's something in the acai that just like, it's the sugar, it boosts you, it's fresh.
Coldness.
And I
it's
promise
cold.
you feel great afterwards.
I actually rate that because I think
I've
a
done that
smoothie or
before,
something would be really good.
But like not doing it as a hangover cure. I've
Right.
just done it because I'm like, oh, I fancy an acai bowl.
Yeah.
But I always try when I get home to like down one of those electrolyte tablets that you
What,
can
when
get.
you get home from the night out?
When I get home from the night
That's
out.
dedication.
I know. It is
Planage.
major. It is major dedication. Me and my friend Georgie, who I live with, we're always like, we get home, we're like, you've got to. What's that thing? That meme that's like, you've got to keep drinking.
Oh.
From Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like
they're in
downing.
the cave,
We're like,
yeah.
this is not good.
Oh
But
my
it makes you
God.
feel so much better in the morning.
Oh, I just have a Mackey's when I get home. Love
Oh
it.
yeah, I did that last
I
night.
need
as
like the
well.
carbs. Have you seen that trend on TikTok where it's like that girl who does carbs before a night out are a must?
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
a whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
well,
she
that's
makes like an
that's a
amazing
no-brainer.
meal
Makes it
and
really-
does like a really cute little cocktail
Yeah.
for herself. But what do you guys eat before a night out? Like, what do you do to like?
Oh my god, I'm probably really bad. Like, it depends the vibe. Usually I'll be like, it's fine, just start going.
Well, I think I feel
Yeah.
like that's what happened just last night because we
Yeah.
went straight from the office. So
But
we
I gotta
didn't
say,
really-
the canapes were 10 out of
They
10.
were
We had
so
croquettes, we
good.
had tuna tartare.
yeah, little like toast.
Those little bruschetta toasts.
Yeah.
are
Oh,
so
But we were
good.
honking of garlic.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
was so
Honky.
garlicky, like deliciously garlicky, but like so garlicky.
I was
Yeah.
paranoid.
Yeah, but everyone
But
kept,
everyone,
like
yeah.
speaking to everyone. Everyone was like, "Sorry,
Hi.
I smell like garlic," and everyone was just like, "Everyone does. It's fine."
And the outfits as well were like so
the
good.
outfits
were so
I
good.
love it. What would you wear to a summer party, like a work summer party?
I think that's a hard question because it depends on my mood. But I loved
Yeah.
your outfit. I'm going to be honest.
thank
Like I would wear
you.
your vibe, but I'd
Yeah.
always definitely wear something linen.
Yeah,
Like
no. I feel like there was a
summer
lot of
party.
linen.
Well,
Your
I
linen.
feel like I missed the linen.
We looked like a
memo.
hen party.
We did. No, everyone was in neutrals, and then I walked in with my stripy thing, and I was like, "Oh my god, I stick out like a sore thumb."
You were the bride.
I was right.
But you look so nice.
Thank you. I loved your set, Daisy. That was Zara, wasn't
Zara.
it? Such a steal.
Yeah, you looked so nice.
So did you
Elizabeth as well
guys.
had a similar Zara set.
Yeah,
and
we
it
were
looked
twinning.
very. Both of you looked very dish, like that brand dish.
Mhm.
The Australian brand.
Yeah,
everyone
that
was
linen
loving.
vibe
Yeah.
as well.
They were such
Be
a
on
good dupe.
TikTok, won't it?
It will.
Guys, threads, what do we think?
Oh.
You're good at it. All of you guys.
I'll tell you what. These two are very good at it.
Yeah, you are. I've seen it.
I'm
on your
too much
Instagram.
of an
I'm like,
overthinker with
Same.
what I need to put on there.
That's the thing. I think you've got to strip it back.
Yeah.
And it's literally like your thoughts.
It is just thoughts, which is bad because it's honestly like it's just coming out
Impulsive.
of me.
Yeah.
It's very impulsive. It's very Facebook wall 2015, 2014.
Well, that's the vibe it's giving me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just can't bear looking back on this in 5-10 years and being like, what was I?
What was I saying?
Yeah, I think of it as like when you're doing something, you're like, oh my god, that's so funny, and you're gonna send it to your best friend, but instead I just put it on Threads.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It's the internal thoughts, isn't it?
But from like because it is such an interesting thing that it's just come out of nowhere, and it's very similar to Twitter. Like from your guys' perspective as like marketing social, what's it going to be like for brands? Like I'm still seeing it just be quite personable and everyone's just doing like random, but like what do you guys think it's going to be like?
Well, I think it definitely deepens the connection, doesn't it, with the audience?
Yeah, it's still very like friendly and personal. I think on there, like you look at brands like my favorite on Threads at the moment is Aldi.
Yeah, they are.
Oh really? Are
They are so good. I mean, generally at their socials, they're just so good, but they're just so funny. They like sort of jokingly beef with other supermarkets on there. Like it's like it's like you're talking to your friends.
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
I think from a
lighthearted
brand
humour.
perspective.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the one thing is, it is so positive compared to Twitter and stuff, which has
Yeah,
just
at the
become so
moment.
negative. And I've
Yeah.
never really used Twitter. Have you
No.
guys?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Threads. I'm
Yeah,
excited for these
me
new
too.
apps. I never
Yeah.
got into Be Real, but Threads is like.
You never got
giving
on to
a
Be
vibe.
Real?
No, I
Really?
tried. I kept downloading it, and it came up. I was like, fuck off. And
I'm
I just like
still-
deleted the app.
That's
I
true.
still-
It
I
comes
still
up
try.
every day, and you're like,
I still try and be real.
Yeah,
Do
you
you
are
when I
quite,
can.
you're
You're
quite
good.
committed.
Well, since we're talking about trends and things going on, we should move on to our hot list, which, Lou, if you don't know, it's like our pop culture trends going on, things happening in the world. The thing that literally happened, I think it's like 2-3 days ago, apparently Ariana Grande and her husband were split up.
I know.
Okay.
Allegedly. Kate, we were talking about that, and Kate thinks it's not true.
I don't know much about this topic,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw a very short clip of her. I presume it was like on a live or something, doing her makeup, and then she was like, my ring's being cleaned, my ring's being cleaned.
That was like 6 months ago.
Oh really?
Yeah. I swear that was ages ago.
Oh,
she was
someone
doing her
like
makeup
dug
or
this up
something.
then, since this
Oh,
drama's
maybe.
been
Because
happening.
I remember that, because she was doing her makeup and doing like a Q&A when she was promoting for her brand. And then I swear I remember her saying that, unless it was more recent. But
I don't know. Maybe someone's like dug that up and fed it into this
Maybe.
drama.
Yeah,
But
but
so interesting how that comes
I
out
know.
because like,
yeah.
but she wasn't wearing her ring to Wimbledon, right?
no.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, that's also
Maybe
right.
it's
And
just
then
being cleaned again.
So
But then, so the
crazy.
whole thing of like why they've apparently broken up is he apparently didn't realize how famous she was, which I think is just ridiculous. Ariana Grande.
Where have you read this?
So apparently, so this is I don't know where it came from. It was
Who's
either
your source?
TikTok,
TikTok.
E-News, TikTok, Glamour,
Yeah.
like all these places. Basically, they got together in COVID, where
Yeah.
obviously the world was not doing anything and everyone was quiet, everyone was at home. They got married, whatever, and then everything opened back up. And I think because he's not famous, I think he works in real estate, like
Yeah.
real
yeah,
estate.
he does. As a broker.
But come on, it's Ariana Grande.
I know, but then so I guess when
Yeah,
they
but
were
I think
going out and
sometimes
stuff,
they're
it was
oblivious.
like,
Like,
yeah.
also, I can understand Joanne, she's super famous, but also if you think about on the level of like, okay, I know it's not Kim Kardashian, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walk out straight away, paparazzi, etc. You still see Ariana Grande,
Yeah.
but not like constant.
Yeah.
So maybe in his head he was like, oh, you know, like it's here and there, and then as you say, suddenly the world opens up more. She's properly doing her beauty again. He's like, oh, actually,
she's real famous.
maybe
a real
this
deal.
isn't what I
Maybe.
thought it was.
No, he
Yeah.
probably is just like, oh, that's
Interesting.
not for me, which is fair enough. Like maybe he just didn't sign up for that, but like surely you would have known that's what your life was going to be
Yeah,
like.
she is the famous.
It's the same with
person.
Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn. Apparently, that's like one of the reasons they broke up is that he didn't like get the fame, like it was too much.
But I
he's
guess,
famous
but
too.
I guess though that's why you get all these celebrities
Mm.
only date celebrities
Mm.
because like I've had conversations with my friends about this before. Like, it would be so weird to date someone like so famous,
Mm.
and like you see the sort of normal people that date celebrities, and you're like, it would just be so hard. Like it would be
Yeah,
it would be
it
such a
is.
weird life. Like it's like Notting Hill. Do you remember at the end of Notting Hill when he's like going to all the press tours and the red carpets
yeah.
with her?
Oh,
It always
yeah.
makes me think of that because I'm like, God, it would be actually
Yeah.
so odd.
But it's really invasive as well in every element.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
like, as you
You're
say,
photographed with
You're
someone.
like an extension, which
Yeah.
is okay. But if you're like having a really bad day and you're like, please leave me alone,
Yeah.
they're just constant.
Mm.
Like, it's a bit much, isn't
Okay,
it?
it must be hard, to be fair, but I don't
Yeah.
know. Hopefully they haven't broken up.
I know.
Hopefully not.
Until they say it, you can't
Yeah.
believe anything. Can
That's
you?
like me being like, I read it online.
I know.
Like,
You read it on Google.
I read that Ariana Grande and her husband
But I
had
still
broken
love
up.
how it suddenly does all these things come out of nowhere. I'm like, who are all of these people
It's
who are
Sapna.
just like,
It's just I'm just spreading the rumours, to be fair.
Who would listen to Call Her Daddy, Zayn Malik?
Yes. It's been 6 years, right, since he's done any
Any sort of
interview,
interview.
but he's like
anything.
never really spoken.
No.
Sorry,
No,
is that
and
just me?
also
But he
not.
like doesn't ever speak.
Yeah. And I feel like he was the one out of all of them that perhaps
He was
from,
quiet.
from afar seemed the
Yeah.
most troubled as well.
He seemed troubled. He seemed a bit like out of the vibes, and I think he does talk about that a bit on the podcast. That he is quiet, he is very chilled and laid back,
He's
and
a
that
bit shy.
really comes.
To be
across.
fair though, after listening to it, I thought hats off to him. He got out first. Like they were clearly all being pulled in different directions. They were perhaps being secretive about other offers they'd had, other
Exactly.
things they were signing, and he just thought, fuck it, I'm going to jump
Yeah,
the gun and get out of here
exactly.
before all of them. So I
Yeah,
actually
I
don't
really
think it was a big
respect that.
deal. He might have had issues
Yeah.
in terms of being in the public eye. I mean, I don't know if his health was 100% when he was in the band.
Yeah.
I'm sure mental health wise, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really respect that he actually admitted, like, I knew everyone was going to leave, so I wanted to do it first.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah,
said
fair
that.
enough.
And also, if you
Pretty.
knew that perhaps a few of them were being secretive and were cracking on with their own careers, you'd be like, oh my God, I need to do that as well.
But also you'd be like, screw this then, if you're all going.
And he does say like they were best friends, but when you're together for that many years at all times, I think you're living together at some point,
and your brand, your whole like brand, and
exactly.
And also I think with men as well, like they were obviously 17 when they started touring. That's like the brain capacity of maybe like
a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I was going to be nice, but and I think,
be honest,
you know, to even process the fact they'd got that famous that quickly would take a few years. And I think the reason he's had such a big break probably is to sort of digest that and think.
Well, yeah, you'd be like, you wouldn't really know what to do with yourself, would you, when you stop?
Exactly. They were put together as well. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, they never were like, you know, like, I don't know, like McFly or something. But a lot of them were friends from the beginning, and they were so desperate to have like a band together. So they were like, oh, we know each other, etc. They were literally squished together.
Also, their demographic was so young. Yeah. Like their fan demographic was so young. So I feel like they couldn't have ever shown the tricky side of it, or talk. They were probably never allowed to talk about the harder side of things or show the harder side of things. So for Zayn, I mean, I have no idea, but I assume that that was his only way out, really, of the whole situation.
And it's gone well for all of them that have done their own thing. They're all so different. They're all so themselves. Like it's the best. I mean, I would have loved for them to come back together at some point.
Hey, maybe they will
at one point to make some money. Come on, of course they will.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Harry, it's Harry. They're waiting on Harry.
Who was your fave?
Niall.
Really? Are you not
always a Niall girl?
I think it was Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Mine
Harry.
was Harry.
Yeah, mine would have been Harry as well.
I did really like Zayn at one point, but he was just a bit too quiet for me. I liked how like out there Harry was.
But that was also what he said. They branded him as this mysterious one, and they were all branded. Like one was the cheeky chappy, Niall was the cheeky chappy, and I think they then felt they had to live up to those personas that they weren't actually even those themselves. Yeah.
I love the fact that he's moved to Pennsylvania, like somewhere.
And he has like a farm and chickens.
No, but guys, he gets up at 12.
Yeah, I know. He's like, woke up at like midday.
That's so.
Do this and that.
No, I don't buy.
I know that's a bit, but like, what else does he have to do? There's nothing to do in Pennsylvania. No one knows him. Apparently, there's no paparazzi allowed in that area past a certain time.
Pennsylvania's a weird place. I've been to
Really?
Pennsylvania. Everyone has chickens.
What?
Everyone has
No, but like I can tell a really weird situation that I
God,
went to see. So my dad's cousin lives in Pennsylvania. There's literally nothing there than houses. Scream was filmed there. So imagine those houses from Scream. That's like what it looks like. There's a Walmart. There's like a lake. And then they all basically have chickens.
Walmart, a lake?
There's a lake.
I was like jumping on a trampoline with my dad's cousins, like kids. And we were like, and then you could see over in the neighbour. And he was there sitting with his chickens, singing to them.
Singing to them.
Oh my
I'm
God,
like not
that's really
joking.
sweet.
And he had Taylor Swift posters in his bedroom.
Swiftie.
Was it Sapna's house?
I swear down. I was like, okay, this is Pennsylvania.
Oh my God, I just can't picture him there. But it must be a
good
nice,
for him,
quiet life
if that's
for him.
if it's a quiet.
Exactly, and he just talks
easy
about all he
existence.
cares about
what
is his
actually
child.
happened with him and
Yes. Yolanda.
Yes, Yolanda. That's
Gigi.
what I was going to say.
So he very, very lightly mentions it.
Yeah.
Because his whole thing
I didn't get to the end of the pod.
No,
to be
neither
fair.
did I.
his
didn't
whole
hear
thing
that
is he
bit.
doesn't want to say anything that his daughter's going to read in the press in 10 years' time and think, why did my
So
dad say that
fair.
about my mum? But he stayed silent. And I really respect that he didn't go back in the press and say, like, no, this is what happened, no, this is what happened. So he does mention that a little bit.
Does
Like,
he?
yeah.
I do think on the subject of Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper is such a good host for that kind of interview. She's just, the way she asks the questions and the way she speaks to people and gets people to open up without really like pressing for exactly.
Yeah.
She's so chilled about it, and it makes everyone else, I feel, so chilled, because I couldn't see Zayn on any other podcast talking about that.
And I think all the celebrities know now that if you're going to do one, it's going to be that one.
Yeah.
But she's done it in a good way. Kind of how you guys have it. Sounds a bit like how we're sitting on the sofa. This is chill. Sometimes they're so like you're just
Sat
in
at
the
a
studio
table.
like this,
Yeah.
and you just feel like you're on the news, and it's not a vibe.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Where she sits there in her tracksuit,
I know.
and I love how she got like engaged was in her tracksuit because her boyfriend knew that was like how she felt most comfortable, and how sweet that he literally like said to her like, this is your most comfortable outfit.
Sweet.
And she just sits there like on her chair, like super
legs
cash.
crossed.
She has the best job in the world.
She really does.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Also, so obviously we were just listening to Taylor Swift in the office before this. I know you're not a Swiftie. Daisy's
I
not
know,
a Swiftie.
I'm a
No, don't worry.
Swiftie.
Are you? I thought you.
Concert.
What?
I went. Daisy one. I went when I was younger.
I love this.
Oh my
Which
God,
one?
I used
I thought you weren't. I'm
Speak
so
Now.
sorry. Speaking
The curly writing.
Oh no, we were just talking
I'm
about
not
how
a
you love
diehard,
that.
Wait,
but,
but
like,
what era was that then?
That
'Cause
was
she's
when
had
I
a
was,
few eras.
That was when I was in like year 7.
Yeah, that was
when
but
she
that
was
is what I
country.
like.
That's the best.
Not quite. That's Fearless.
Okay.
Speak Now still a little bit country.
Speak Now and Fearless, I love. They're my
Yeah.
2 favourites.
But so just to give a bit of context to people who don't, I'm sure everyone knows this, but basically her music was sold to someone without her knowing.
Yeah, I
and
know.
so she's had to re-record all of it, which is like a really cool thing. So if it says Taylor's version at the end, it's her re-recorded music that she owns. And as fans, like, that's the only music we will listen to. But basically,
Yeah, see, I'm not that much of a Swiftie.
But it's just so, like, to hear, because we were listening to one of the originals on the radio earlier, but when you listen to the new ones, it's just so interesting to like hear her like matured voice and like the way she's changed it and done things. No, but you genuinely, like, imagine Justin Bieber singing "Baby" in his voice now. You'd be like,
yeah.
"Fuck, I'm gonna cry about this."
But
I'm
it's
actually
wait-
intrigued then. So like, what
can
songs
tell.
is she singing?
She's
All of
done
them,
all
the
her
whole
But you know,
albums.
But you
Again.
can tell
Seriously?
it's like a more grown-up version of the
Yeah.
songs,
What, you
which
know
is
the
what's
lyrics
so
that's
weird.
changed?
Yes.
What was the original
So,
lyrics?
for
Better
people
Than
who don't
Revenge.
know,
Yeah.
in the song Better Than Revenge,
Yeah.
she got hate for it being a bit misogynistic. So the lyrics were, she's not a saint, no, she's not what you think, she's an actress. She's better known for the things that she does
Stars
on the
on the
mattress.
mattress.
Right? Which people were
That
like...
was a banger of a line,
I
to
was
be
going to
fair.
sing it. but
That was always like a bad girl song though. Like you've been like a boy's
You'd be
like
on your bed with your
stop
pillows.
talking to
like-
you. Yeah, you've been like Snapchatting a boy and he's like stop messaging you and you're just
But I guess the whole argument of it was that it's her like degrading a woman for being like, oh, you're only
It's
known
like
for what
a
you do
bit
in a bed.
slut-shaming, yeah.
Exactly. So she changed the lyrics. Sorry.
I can't work out what she's
I
saying.
didn't work out. I had to Google
I
it.
can't remember. It's something like, he was the moth to the flame and she's holding the matches or something like that.
Where
Oh,
she has
holding
the
the
hold to the
matches.
match or something.
It's just a bit much. It wasn't. She could have gone for something much
theatrical,
easier.
but-
Very.
Okay.
Everyone on TikTok is like doing why couldn't you do this or this and like doing their versions of it. But my thing about this is there's such a double standard that she has but she's changed her lyrics. Drake, The Weeknd, everyone, they are so misogynistic in their songs and the words and the
Yep.
things they call women.
yeah.
They wouldn't do that ever.
No.
And she's got so much hate for it.
That's
Like
because she's a woman.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
That's the double standard. I mean, I love it regardless, but it is quite funny.
I know. I remember the
lyrics
first
at all.
time I listened to it, I was like singing along in the car, and then it changed, and I was like, wait, what
Wait,
is going
sorry.
on?
I know.
I think she just annoys me.
Fair enough.
really
It's not for
bad,
everyone. It's
but-
just I just think the concept is quite cool that
I-
she's redone it all.
All Too Well 10-minute version
Yes.
is my national anthem.
Yeah, I know.
I've got to say,
It's
it's
great.
just the best song in the whole world.
The question is, did you guys get tickets?
No, and I
No,
don't want to
and
talk
we
about
don't
it.
want to talk about
I
it.
don't want to talk about it. I cancelled a meeting. I moved a filming. I did everything to be able to get
Filming.
these tickets, and I didn't get any.
How
Oh,
many devices
Sapna.
did you have on?
I
at the
only
same
had
time?
one.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
that's
the
not- you're not
problem.
prepared
that's
enough.
not
No,
fair.
but that's not why I didn't get it. Basically, I didn't make it on the wait list, so I put it on my story, and it was like sob story
Only the real
about it.
Swifties make it on the wait list.
Daisy,
I
don't
didn't
say
make
that
it
to
on the wait
me.
list either,
But this
alright?
sounds really
It
complicated.
is very. It's basically to be fair because lots of people just get loads of tickets, do a million like laptops, whatever. So it was to make it the most fair. It's like a draw.
Okay.
You have to log
Um,
in with
exactly.
one login, and you can only get 4.
Exactly.
Is it 4?
Yeah, 4 tickets.
Yeah.
That's like Coachella.
Is it?
Yeah, but we did actually put it on like a million
Did
devices.
you?
Did you?
I mean, everyone does. But basically, this really nice girl offered to give me one of her codes to be able to do it, but it didn't work because I was on her account and basically I couldn't get a ticket. But we will.
We will.
You're manifesting it. It
Manifesting it. But anyways, have any of you guys seen the Wonka trailer with Timothy Chalamet?
Why are you laughing? I absolutely love it.
No, I'm really upset. That sounds really dramatic. But I'm actually such a Wonka fan.
So
Yeah,
am I.
no,
It's
so
the
am I,
most
and I
nostalgic
just-
film for me.
I just
You know what
Giving
it
me the
is?
ick. It's made me
It's
cringe.
giving me it. It's
Yeah.
like no, it's not a Disney, but you know what I mean. That it looks like a Disney
Yes.
I
like
just
kids thing, and
think-
you're like, that's not Wonka.
I-
Thing
I
is,
love-
it's made by the producers of Paddington.
I was about to
isn't
say that.
Yeah.
That's why it's quite
oh,
kiddie.
okay,
Yeah.
that's now giving
But
me
And
I
also
love
Harry-
Timothy. I love
Yeah.
Timothy.
Yeah, it's
okay.
me too.
I love Timothy.
Yeah.
I don't see him in this role.
No, I think it is badly cast.
I think
And I
it's
know
great.
they're trying to go for like the younger Wonka.
Tom
and, like, his
Holland.
sto-
No.
Yes, Tom
no.
Holland
That-
would have been good.
No.
I stand behind Tom Holland.
It's just not right. But I do think every time any classic movie's remade, everyone makes a fuss about it. But that was badly cast.
But they already, if you think about it, have remade Wonka, and I
Twice.
think both of them on par were really good.
Yeah.
They had like, you know how the set was, everything was like,
And they're
perfect.
both very different, aren't they?
Yeah. But it was like right, whereas this is just
It just
not
feels.
right.
No, I'm excited for it.
I think it'll be nice. It's coming out at Christmas.
It's
so
coming
I
out
think
at
that
Christmas.
vibe is.
Hugh
Yeah, they did
Grant's,
it like a
Hugh Grant's the
Christmas
Oompa Loompa, isn't
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
was-
that's funny.
That's
that
funny.
was weird for me. but
No,
yeah.
see, I liked that bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to see the whole film. I don't
Yeah.
think Timothy necessarily was the best choice.
Yeah, I did see a
Also-
quote. Sorry, yeah.
I think it's a musical.
Yes, it's meant. It's sorry,
Ooh.
it's meant to be, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but I think that's
This film is
controversial. I'm
too.
sorry.
Yeah, this is too much for me. I feel like I'm gonna get very overwhelmed watching this film and be like,
I
"Eh."
think it will actually go over the adults' heads, and all
Yeah.
of the kids will be like, "I love
Yeah.
this."
But that's what
Yeah.
I think. I've seen a quote of him saying like it's for the like
for the kids.
unskeptic like kids.
Oh.
That's why he's done
The
it. Like,
younger
that's why it's so
generation.
fun and it's like it's not.
I can
for
so
us.
see why. Like, if I was Timothy Chalamet and I got offered that part, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, he's
proper kid.
getting
I'll
some
take
bags
that.
for that one.
But also
Sure.
because it's just like compared to the stuff he's done before, you'd be like, this is so fun. Like,
Yeah,
let's
it's
definitely
fun.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to be joined on the sofa with our first male guest, Sam. Thank you for coming. Sam actually co-founded Batch London with Julian Osborne, and if you're not aware of Batch London, it's created on a simple premise. Sam and Julian couldn't find a decent suit, so they saw an opportunity to redefine this and create something more casual that also combated fashion waste.
That's it in a nutshell.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, great to have you and great to see the Batch in real life. I've seen you on socials.
I hope so. We're putting a lot of effort in. So
Yeah,
if you
no.
hadn't, I'd be disappointed.
Brilliant. So what inspired you to launch Batch?
Quite simply, I mean, you've already kind of stated it already, but couldn't find a decent casual suit. So started looking into that in a bit more detail. Went to Julian with this problem. He was like, oh, I've got the same problem. I can't find a decent casual suit either. Realised the timing of it was great. The traditional suit has become an outdated formality. It's like the number of occasions that you would wear it to are diminishing. And there's this place for something that's a lot more comfortable.
And do you think that was because of COVID?
Partly because of COVID. We also, over COVID, got very used to being really comfortable at home. So then we got released back out in the wild again, and we got to go to the pub and restaurants in what felt like 20 years since we'd last gone. Naturally, everyone wanted to look smarter and dress up and look the part a bit more, but still retain that comfort that you get from wearing your PJs at home. So we realised the timing was great. The way that we dressed to work had changed massively as well. We'd gone from this sort of very formal, in the office 5 days a week, to a lot more hybrid in and out the office. And then naturally, when you look to start any business, you look at the different ways you can be sustainable. We started looking into the fashion industry in a bit more detail. We all know fast fashion's bad, right? But it's not until you actually dig into it that you realise quite how bad it is. 6 in 10 items of clothing that are made end up in landfill within a year.
That's crazy, but I can believe that.
Mental, right?
Yeah.
So if you like flip that around, if you buy 4 items of clothing, there's another 6 that go straight to landfill. And the big problem is that your sort of big retailers will have multiple seasons a year. They're always trying to combat each other on styles, and effectively they're guessing what's going to land. And they can get pretty good at predicting it, but
Get it
more
wrong
often
as
than not,
well.
they get it wrong.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that then gets discounted. If that doesn't sell, it goes straight to landfill. So you end up with this issue that 70% of the fashion waste, of the waste from the fashion industry, is from upstream production, which basically means before clothing's even got into a consumer's hands, it's heading straight to landfill. So we looked at each other and we're like, that's quite a key problem. That's a significant problem that we think we can actually make a difference in. So we looked at how we might solve that. And for us, that's making clothes to order. So all of our suits, or all of the suits that you could try on in our shop, for example, are all samples.
Okay.
We then collect those orders together, send them off to Portugal to be handmade in a batch, hence the name.
Great name.
And as a result, we only make exactly as many clothes as we need. So you cut out all of that overproduction, all of that waste.
Yeah. And also it creates a sense of hype.
Correct.
Because you're constantly waiting for the next batch to drop. And you do
That's the
different
idea.
colourways, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, really cool. And what about you and Julian? Have you been friends for a while? How
Yeah, so Ju and I met at uni.
Yeah.
We're both at Newcastle University together. People warn you about getting into business with like friends and family. For me and Julian, it's been absolute bliss. Like, we're pretty yin and yang. His strengths and my weaknesses and vice versa. He's really good at managing me. I can be a bit of a handful at times. So he just sort of lets me get on with it.
So you had this idea, you looked more into the sustainable side. How did you then get it off the ground and into the business?
Both of us came from a startup background. So I was working in the drinks industry for a company called Punchy.
Oh
So
yeah, no Punchy.
You know
yeah,
Punchy,
cool.
yeah. I was head of ops there for 5 years. Julian worked for a company called Oddballs, which is like a
Yeah.
testicular cancer charity.
Both
and
quite quirky brands as
yeah,
well,
really
right?
quirky. And we both joined as sort of third and fourth employee. which gave us the sort of basic skill set to get a business off the ground.
Cool.
Like the things that people miss out on, how do you do a cash flow, and when you're supposed to register, and how do you do that, and what do you do about VAT and stuff, which is all stuff you can learn from asking people, but we sort of had a head start with it. And then equally, we were very lucky that we also worked our little butts off to make it happen.
Yeah.
But we both started Batch while still having full-time jobs.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask you. What was the turning point to kind of take the plunge and be like, right, we've got to go, we've got something special here, we've got to jump, both feet in?
We'd got through our first batch of suits, and we were leading into our second batch, and I went full-time in January. And for me, it was just the right time to do it. We'd got a bit of proof of concept, and it felt like, if we're going to make something of this, like, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Drew stayed in his job for a bit longer, so he's just gone full-time. And yeah, we're now both taking the plunge.
And how important is, you touched on this at the beginning, but social strategy to your business? I came across you guys on social. I know you've collabed with some cool people. You've got some cool people in your suits.
Yeah.
And we'll go on to your whole store and the concept and everything, because I know that's pretty cool as well. But
Yeah.
social strategy, how important is that?
It's massive, particularly in the fashion industry. So you can't patent an item of clothing, which basically means anyone can go and make the same thing. Someone could buy our exact suit, take it apart and remake it and put their own brand on it. So by that same logic, your brand becomes everything. And in order to build a brand in the world that we live in, you have to have a strong social strategy. And it's a good way to put a bit more meaning behind the clothes that you're buying or wearing, for it to be validated by cool people, by other cool businesses. It's a really good way to get awareness of your brand first, but then also get those sort of conversions. Like, I don't know, how many clothes have you bought off Instagram in the last few years?
Yeah.
It's completely changed my sort of world. And that is your sort of access to new ideas, new information. So we all spend probably way too much time on it. It's super important to get it right.
Yeah.
So we put a big focus on social and social strategy, and making sure that we're building the brand that supports the physical.
Yeah, I mean, it's just as people can say, just as important as the product itself, right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, but that leads us on quite nicely to then explaining the batch process. I would love to know more about that, how you decide on the colours, the lead time, everything really.
Yeah, so we're actually, at the moment, our batches drop 3 times a year.
Okay.
We're actually going to change that. So we're going to do an autumn, winter and a spring, summer.
Cool.
And then you can buy at any point along those 6 months that those suits are available. The suits take 8 weeks to be made. We send them over to Portugal to be handmade. So you make your purchase, you then wait for 8 weeks, but that could be an obvious negative thing, to have to wait for your clothing to be made. That we're trying to instill this idea that patience is a virtue, and good things come to those that wait. So along those 8 weeks, we take people on what we call a batch experience, or the batch model experience, where we show you who's making your suit, how it's being made, behind the scenes footage from the factory. You get to see updates of your suit going down the line, etc. And our hope is, as a result, you care more about your garment because you've seen what's gone into it. Like the jacket, for example, passes through nearly 50 pairs of hands before it gets to the final product. So you just lose sense of that when you in everything else you do in fashion. So you don't get that same understanding. You don't look after it as well. And if you look after it better, the whole thing comes full circle.
Yeah.
Like, again, not to keep throwing stats at you, but I saw a stat the other day that if you wear one item of clothing for, on average, 9 months longer, it reduces its carbon and water footprint by 40%.
Wow. I love the whole ethos behind it. I feel it's excellent.
Thank you.
So cool. And your flagship store seems to be more than just bricks and mortar. I've heard that you have parties.
We do have parties.
And then you have the one-on-one consultations. So that, I guess, is coming in, trying it on, choosing, you telling the purchaser when the batch will be ready. Yeah. Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so we got this amazing opportunity to get a shot. We realised quite quickly that with the product that we're selling, a suit, it's really important for people to come and be able to try it on.
Yeah.
To make sure they've got the right colour, the right size, that they can feel the fabric and engage in the brand. There's a lot of chat at the moment about the high street being dead, but our opinion is that it's not. It's just dead shops filling the high street.
Exactly. And there are some shops doing it well. And if you can replicate that model or create a model like that, then people will come. Exactly.
Because I think people naturally thirst for experience.
Yeah.
Effectively, we wanted to create a space that you've walked into for a reason and you stayed in for a reason, rather than just what most people end up doing when they're shopping, when you sort of aimlessly walk around, you've walked into a shop, you don't know why you're in there, and you leave again, you don't really know why you left, and it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
So in our latest shop, which we call the day to night store, we've created daytime upstairs, so you've got space to go and sit and work. There's areas to sit and chill.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can try suits on. We've got partner brands in the shop that you can engage with to build a bit more of a lifestyle around what we're doing.
I saw a few. You got Pure Sports.
Got Pure Sport. We've got at the moment we've got a company called Spelth and Boxers.
Yeah, I've seen them on Instagram.
Cool boxer
we're a big
shorts.
fan of Lux Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, they sell 95% of their boxes to women actually, which is quite interesting.
That's interesting.
We've also got a company called Ann Sons in there at the moment.
Okay.
They're like a menswear brand aimed
yeah.
at slightly older generation. We had The Circle in there for a while.
Yeah, cool.
Good, big sustainable fashion brand. And then downstairs, we built a hidden speakeasy bar in our basement. So you've got to go through a wardrobe to get to it, just to create a little bit of theatre around it.
Cool.
It's like something that you remember when you go to the shop, which is what we're trying to achieve. And then, we host a variety of different events.
So what events have you had?
We
down
do all
there?
sorts. We did a Pure Sport Run Club.
Cool.
We had a massive launch party the other day. We've done flash tattoo days.
Oh, so
a whiskey
good.
tasting coming up.
Might have to be a Lux Girl collab on the cards there.
100%. Guys, come on in.
And what is your advice to anyone wanting to make money from something they love? Your passion, just, I can feel it. And I'm sure there are people out there that have a similar passion. They want to take the plunge, but they're nervous. What advice would you give to them?
There's never a right time to start. So just start, because once you've started, then it's in motion, and it's kind of like giving birth to a baby. It's there. Like, you can't just leave it.
Yeah.
You've got to look
I love
after
that
it.
analogy.
Yeah, it is though. It's like you can brew it for as long as you want, but unless you just get it out in the open, it's not going to pick up any momentum, and you're not going to learn from it, and you're not going to be able to make adjustments and mistakes. Truly, there's nothing to lose that you can't get back.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if it goes wrong, for example, it doesn't quite take off, but what you'll learn from going through that process will be invaluable. So we know in our heart of hearts, if for some reason Batch doesn't work, like, we would have learned so much from it. You could spend 100 grand on going and doing an MBA and end up with half as much experience as you would get from starting your own business and just getting it off the ground.
Brilliant. Great piece of advice. And I'd love to move on to a quick fire. We do quite like doing this with our interviewees. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Quick
okay,
fire,
brilliant.
me.
What and who inspires you the most?
So cliche, but at the moment my team inspires me the most.
That's
and
nice.
I'm cringing as I say that. And they're going to cringe when they hear this, but they do. I think everyone's like super passionate. It's a really tough environment to work in a startup, particularly when it's not yours, but across the whole team, everyone's just on it, and they drive me to be better.
Brilliant. And one word that describes your style.
My style.
Your style.
Oh God, that's so hard. Really cool.
Brilliant. There we go. What emoji?
Trying a bit too hard.
Yeah. What emoji do you use the most?
I use that little hand love heart emoji.
Oh my
the
God, I
most.
love that one. That's
Yeah.
my favourite.
It's kind of like you can use it in so many different contexts. It's like a get out of jail free card.
Yeah. What Batch suit colour would I rock?
I think the baby pink. But
Baby pink.
baby pink's no longer available. That was batch 2.
Okay.
We've got some new colours coming for batch 4,
Have you?
which lands in November.
Can you reveal those?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Which one luxury item would you take to a desert island?
Can I take my dog?
Yes.
Does that count?
Yeah, that's a brilliant answer.
Yeah, I'd take my dog.
Tell us one Batch London secret.
We've got a speakeasy bar in our basement. Can't tell you any of the other secrets.
No. Brilliant. Well, Sam, thank you so much. It's been
No, thank
great to
you.
hear about Batch, and I'm definitely going to come try a suit on soon.
You have to.
Thanks for being our first guy on the podcast.
No, it's been amazing. Hopefully I'm the first of many.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Should we go through what everyone's wearing? Kate, what have you got on today?
I am wearing my Picante Fratelli collection white hoodie, which I'm being very careful of
Yeah, it's
because
very clean.
I spill things on anything white all the time. And then I've got some shorts on from COS and my Sampers.
Days, what are you wearing?
Today I'm wearing my Ganni tee, which is very white, very clean, and my Zara linen trousers, which go with the co-ord.
Nice.
And my New Balance 530s.
Lovely.
What about you guys?
I'm actually wearing head to toe remain, so full on Danish vibes, but the same as you. White, we got the memo, but always terrified to get anything on it, so I've been very good today. And then I'm wearing my fave JW Anderson.
I love
heels.
those so much.
I've had them for 2 years.
I've
like,
always wanted those,
obsessed.
and every time I see someone wearing them, I'm like, oh,
They're so comfortable sweater.
I need
Are
those.
they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sap.
So I'm wearing my Adenola trousers and a Topshop oversized tee, and I've got the matching Adenola scrunchie and my silverbacks.
So lovely.
Super cute. Love it.
So
Did we miss
shall we move
anyone?
on
No.
to the things we're loving?
Yes.
Let's
Great.
do it.
Lou,
Lou.
You want to go first?
What are you loving?
Well, beauty-wise, I even have it on today. I'm obsessed with the new espresso brand. It's called Glassy. You would have seen it on TikTok. It's that clear blush. Have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen
I
it?
haven't seen
Oh
this.
my god. Okay, I actually have it in my bag. I should go get it. It's literally clear, but when you put it on your skin, it pigments. It turns pink like straight away, and depending on your skin tone, it changes to match your skin tone.
That's so
Trust me, a little
cool.
bit goes a long way. But it's like a balmy texture, and it just makes you
God, you've
glow.
sold that to me.
Yeah, you saw that. I mean,
I
can
have it in
see
my
on
bag.
you.
I have it in my bag. I'll
Nice.
show you. It's like the coolest. It's fun as well. Like it's like a weird chemistry that it's clear and it turns pink. But it's a really,
so
really nice
cool.
blush. So I'm absolutely
so
loving that
nice.
beauty-wise. And then I'm also loving, I'm going on holiday next week, which is exciting.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Puglia in
Oh,
Italy.
love this.
So I have just bought a bikini from Nasty Gal. And it's a black bikini, but you know everyone's wearing those like rosettes on their neck.
Yeah,
so
they're flowery,
so it
yeah.
has like a tie neck detail that has the rosette attached to it, and on the bottoms it has a little
Oh,
rosette.
love that.
So it's just like, you know, everyone likes a little black bikini, but it adds a cute element. So I'm excited to wear that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Sap, what are you loving?
So, I mean, I think we're both loving this. It's probably on your list as well. But the Grind Henry Holland.
Oh my god,
You're
yeah, I saw you guys.
obsessed with
I feel like
it.
all of you guys have it. It's like left out.
You're obsessed with
Honestly, I'm
this.
obsessed. Mine just came today.
They
It looks
nailed
so cool.
Oh,
They
he's
really
doing
have nailed
so
it.
well. It's amazing how he's completely switched the game from being fashion designer to Mr. Pothead, as he called himself, which I love. And now he's like, well, he did rugs as well, which you guys probably didn't know.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
now he's doing grind. Like it's
And
insane.
apparently tableware, new glass collection.
Oh my god, I love
Apparently
this.
he's doing a pink version. Georgina gave us the inside scoop. Hopefully we're allowed to say this. He's doing a pink version of the tin.
So
Is
cool.
he?
Exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I want one. I want one now.
I know,
I'm
and
jealous.
when we were seeing it, I was like, oh, I bet it's going to be so expensive, but it's £14 with pods, so it's actually really
Pretty good.
affordable.
And you
With
get to keep
pods.
the tin.
With pods.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And on the high street, I've just got the coolest. I was actually going to wear it today, but I got a bit of mochi chocolate on the bottom of it. But basically, it's a oversized tee from Bershka with the Barbie thing
Oh,
on it. It says
cute.
vacay. I got it for holiday, but I was like, oh, that's actually so cool. And I'm going to wear it on Friday because I've got tickets for Barbie on the day it comes out. And I'm going to wear
Brilliant.
it.
Oh my
I love that.
God.
But I love that. And the other thing I'm loving, so I'm like more of a gold jewelry gal, but I always mix, like I have these silver rings I wear every day, and I always have silver footwear. Like I always do these Birks, or I do my
Ballet
flats,
flats.
Yeah, you've
or
got
I've
your
got a
ballet
pair of
flats.
loafers. But I don't have that much like gold like earrings or jewelry otherwise, and I feel like it always looks a bit weird having the gold and the silver. So I really want a good pair of silver earrings, and I found some really cool ones on Mango. They're like a big dome, like oversized, kind of like the
Cool.
Bottega, but not that shape.
So
It's a bit more
cool.
circular.
So nice.
So I want those on the high
Cool.
street. Love a high street
Yeah.
find like that. But how about you guys? What are you loving?
Kate, what are you loving?
So my main love at the moment is nothing new, but my Estrid subscription.
Oh.
I find in the summer I'm like, oh, thank God for this Estrid subscription, because I've had it for so long. I feel like so many people have had it for so long, but my hair's dark. My hair grows quickly on my legs, but
I hear you,
it is
sister.
the only thing that I can find that actually gives me like smooth.
I've not tried them.
Yes,
before.
nice
Oh my god!
legs.
Who, was it you that we were talking about this
Yeah.
yesterday? We were in the bathroom yesterday talking about shaving, and Daisy was like, "Oh yeah, I just use one of those like disposable razors." I was like, "How do you not use
they're
Estrid?"
bad.
I
It
know,
is so
and I do
good.
get rashes and things.
Yeah.
I need to upgrade my
It
game.
is so good. Feel my leg.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah,
It's
It's really
so
good.
good.
What
And
colour
it's
do you
so
have?
aesthetic.
I have a lilac one.
So cute.
But I have the
nice.
little case,
Yeah.
and like your the razor heads just arrive, and you can choose like how frequently you want them to arrive
that's
and
so
things.
handy.
But it's
Yeah.
so good, and it's just like such a game changer in summer
Also,
as well.
I want to know, can you do that? Is there any beauty subscription like that for foundation? Because I
you
never
were
am
talking about
organised
this.
enough to. I always run out of foundation, and then I'm having to wait weeks because I can't either. I've forgotten.
Well, I
Interesting.
want it for all makeup. Like I feel like
Yeah.
my makeup all runs out at the same time, and like any Boots trip costs so much money.
There's like Cult Beauty or someone should do that, where you can put
A
in like your
subscription.
usual items that you always have and a date.
Yeah,
where
and
they
it's
all
like
have to be
every
restocked
3
to.
months.
Like,
Every 3 months,
just sold them
you
a
get
great
this,
idea.
this, and this.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Function of Beauty when everyone used to do the shampoo because that was what they did.
Well, that's a bit like
Beauty?
Estrid. That's how I came across Estrid. Do you remember like all the like YouTubers and stuff would be like, this video is sponsored by Function of Beauty. Yeah, it was that shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, that was good.
Are you loving anything else?
I have also just been away. I've just been to Italy as well.
Whereabouts?
I went to Umbria,
Nice.
so right in the middle. But I read Cleopatra and Frankenstein while I was away.
I was just going to say this. I've just started.
It's so good. And I wish that I had a connection in or worked in film because I'm like, I have written the film. It is by Coco Mellors, who is, I think she's a New York-based author. But it is one of those books that you read and just in your head, you're like, I've written, I can see the film version of this. Like it's all set in New York. Well, predominantly set in New York, and the characters are just so good, and the way that she writes and describes the characters and their thoughts and like everything that they say and the way that they look is just so funny and so like perfectly on point. I kept reading it out, like when we were on holiday I'd read out like a line to anyone that was there to listen. I'd be like, no, listen to the way that she just described this girl. Like it's so good. And what's so funny is when I was on the plane on the way to Italy, I bought it in the airport and I got it out of my bag to read start reading halfway through the flight, and the guy that was sat next to me was like, sorry, that's so weird you've just got that book out because she's a really good friend of mine. I used to live in New York. I was like, oh my god, that's so weird. And he was like, can I take a picture of it? And he like took a picture of it.
Oh my god, that's so what a small world.
I'm a few chapters in and it's giving normal people, like it's giving that same kind of excitement I had.
So it changes quite rapidly in the middle.
Okay, please don't
no, I mean in terms of the way it's written.
Okay, good
like
to know.
Like the format that it's written in. So you're like, oh, that's weird, and it starts like going from someone else's perspective.
Okay.
And it's just really clever the way that she writes it, and great book.
Well,
Would
I'm
highly
on holiday,
recommend.
so I feel like I need a
definitely.
start that as well. Dace, what are you loving?
So a collab I'm loving is Sporty and Rich with Eden Rock Hotel.
Oh, I've not seen it.
So
I haven't seen that.
So Hotel de Cap Eden Rock is like
the mega.
The coolest.
There's that one picture everyone takes like in front. Even if you didn't know what the hotel is, you've
know the
seen
Slim Aaron's that
picture.
print that everyone
Exactly,
knows.
Slim Aaron's. And they have collabed with Sporty and Rich. I just thought that was such a cool collab.
That's clever.
It's really smart.
And
That is really
their
smart.
campaign imagery is just so cool. They've gone to
I want to have a look at it now.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm also loving Free People at the moment. I feel like their new stock is giving, and I actually got served an ad on Instagram, and it was this new biker jacket they've got. Ooh. It is so cool. So it's brown. So it's a brown biker jacket with a white stripe down the side and sort of white paneling, and it is just sick.
That sounds like a bit of you.
And it's like a really thick biker jacket, and I feel like something like that will take you through to autumn winter. So that is on the top of my wish list at the moment. It's out of stock in my size, so I'm literally just refreshing the page.
There's a shop on Portobello Road. Have you ever seen it? The one with all the biker jackets.
That's the vibe it's giving.
Yeah.
But I feel like
It's
with
so
a long
nice.
white maxi skirt in summer, I just feel like that would be so cool. So that's something I'm loving.
Amazing.
Check that out.
Go and check
shall
it
we move
out.
on to questions?
Yes.
This segment of the podcast is sponsored by CeraVe, which we're very excited about. So we're going to answer some skincare and beauty questions from our audience.
So the first question we've had is, what's one bad skincare habit that took you ages to break?
I still do this a little bit now,
You
guys.
start,
What
go
do
on.
you do?
Popping my spots.
I do not agree with it.
I know, it's so bad that I just can't stop. And I get really bad scarring, so that's why I actually need to use like niacinamide and things like that. But like, yeah, that's one. I have tried to now stop. I do like a little spot treatment or like just leave it. But
I'm so bad as well.
I'll tell you what I'm bad for.
yeah.
My nose.
What?
The pores in my nose.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Guys, stop picking your skin. Come
Yeah.
on.
But that's the thing. It's like, why are we doing that? Why do we care that there's a spot on our face? Like, we should just
Yeah.
leave it. Let it be. Do the right
Literally.
skincare, and we'll be okay.
It's true. But I think this didn't take me ages, but when I always think back about this and when I speak to my friends is, in general, a habit people do need to kick is makeup wipes. Sorry, but...
Yes.
Why did I ever
But this is what I mean.
them? I
We
can't
used to
believe I
use
ever
them
did.
for years, and we would never use one. I think all of us would use like 5.
But also, I rubbed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
was so
scraping
aggressive,
your
and
face.
then if I was running out, I'd like back to back them, and
that's what
it
I would
reminds
do.
me of my uni days.
Yeah.
it's bad.
I feel like I'm at school and I
know.
Things.
Yeah.
Are you using makeup wipes?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not using makeup.
But it was actually CeraVe that got me into cleansing because
too.
it was an affordable cleanser
Yeah.
with real ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember those horrible, nasty, gritty ones
Oh
that were
my
apricot
gosh.
flavoured?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
we
but they
won't,
would,
we
like-
won't name names.
They would break your skin. They would literally, you could feel like someone scratching you.
Or there was, at the other end of the spectrum where they were like £35, and you just,
Yeah.
when you're young and you're so self-conscious about your skin, you
And
don't
also when you don't know what you're doing,
Yeah.
really,
It's like simple, they're good ingredients. But like, I think we've all used
The
CeraVe
cleansers,
cleansers.
yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
we? Which ones do you guys go for?
I use SA.
Salicylic acid.
Yeah.
Good. So
What-
that one's good for if you've got like normal to dry skin, isn't it?
Bumpy.
Bumpy,
Yeah,
like
so
textured.
salicylic acid, if I'm right, Lou, you are our
Yeah,
skincare
You're
guru.
going great.
Helps reduce visible bumps. Is
So
that
what
right?
it does is it deals with the sebum, which is obviously what bumps are created by, is like excess sebum in your skin, where you get bumps. So it helps decrease them and balance your skin.
It's changed my whole skincare. I used to be on Roaccutane. I don't know if anyone else has.
Yeah.
With you been on Roaccutane.
Yeah.
And so after I was at my wit's end. But it did really help. And then after that I was like, right, I need to crack my skincare, and that was when I went to CeraVe. All my products are CeraVe, to be honest.
Same. I love because I'm pretty blemish prone. I've got kind of like normal to oily skin. So I love like a gel. I think the one I use
Same.
is the hydrating.
I
and
love
blemish
the
prone
gel one, yeah.
Is that
so
the green
good.
one?
Yeah, there's a green one. There's one that's like oil to foam.
Yes, the foaming gel cleanser.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really interesting because for me, that one isn't the right one for me.
Yeah.
Like, I go for the blue one.
Yeah, I think that's the like beauty of CeraVe. There's
Yeah.
so many different ones, and that's the one thing that people just don't remember is that like you need to figure out what your skin type is and then go with a product that works for you.
Yeah.
What's your skin type?
Yeah, let's diagnose you.
Let's diagnose me because, girls, I'm not
Your
good
skin
with
is
my skincare. I'm
You have
not good
gorgeous
with
skin,
skincare.
but do you, so when you come out of the shower or after you've washed your face, how does your skin
Expose
feel?
me.
Does it feel tight?
I have very dry skin.
Okay.
I have in the past, it's actually cleared up a lot, and I have had very bad eczema over my eyes and around my nose.
If you have dry skin, you should be using things with hyaluronic acid and gel.
Okay, so I've just started using the hydrating cleanser from CeraVe.
Yes, that's definitely
That's
got
good.
hyaluronic.
Which I've always found it really hard to like get to grips with a cleanser for my skin because everything just makes me feel so dry
Yeah.
or sensitive or itchy, and I just am so scared of using anything different. But this has felt really good.
Fab.
You cannot overcomplicate it, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely wear SPF every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
That's
my
another one of mine, 100%.
And it
That
was,
was
do you know where I got
my
this
one.
from? Well, it was, someone didn't give me the advice. I just saw this thing on TikTok of a lorry driver.
Oh my god, I know the picture.
Do
the
you?
half
And
half.
it's the
I have
half.
showed so
Okay.
many people this picture.
So we'll
I'll
link
show
it
you.
below.
Oh my God,
but
I haven't seen
it's a
this.
lorry driver, so obviously half their body is always exposed to the sun through the window, and it was literally a photo of them later down the line where literally this half of their body, which was exposed to the sun, was totally wrinkled,
And like droopy.
droopy. It just looked
my
awful.
God.
I
And
can't
then
believe you've never seen it.
and the other side, and it was basically like, wear SPF. And since I've seen that photo, I'm every single day.
Because the other side is like not obviously normal, but it's not at all aged or droopy at all. It's like his face is like
And I
this.
saw a picture of someone who'd put it on their face their whole life and,
And
not
not
their
their
neck. And their neck was really wrinkly.
I had my one was also wearing SPF, and CeraVe actually have a very good SPF as
Agreed.
well. So I was listening to a podcast, and I can't remember for the life of me who it was with now, but she was talking about how wearing SPF, so many people just like discard it because it's not so sunny in the UK, or it's not really hot, so you don't need to wear it. But she was saying if you're walking across the road and you can see the road in front of you, you need to be wearing SPF.
Yeah.
Like
But
and now I always
It's
think
so
about
true.
it. Like in the mornings, if I'm like gonna skip it, or like I'm gonna skip my skincare or something, I'm like, no, you need
Yeah,
to
and
put
I
the
often,
SPF
sometimes
on.
in the morning, I'll get up and go on a run, and I won't put it on, and then I'll be thinking, that's so silly of me because
Yeah.
I'm so exposed.
Right.
Yeah.
But guys, you should be applying sun cream every 2 hours.
Stop.
I can literally blow your mind here.
Oh
So
my
there's
God.
actually two different things that sun cream protects against as well. So you've got UVA and UVB. UVA, you can kind of think of it as like that is what ages you.
Okay.
So UVA actually comes through the clouds. So in the UK, it's always lovely and cloudy. What's coming through is UVA. So that's actually what ages you and creates more wrinkles. So guys, even though we have clouds, you can age.
Okay, so that's like the if you can see in front of you.
Yeah.
you
And then
need to be wearing
UVB,
it.
you kind of remember it as that's what can burn you.
Okay.
So that's when you're obviously like on holiday in really
Mind
exposure of like you have to then wear the SPF to protect your skin from being burnt. But yeah, even if you're sitting in a car, you've got sun coming in. Even if you're sitting in your house, you should wear SPF because you've got windows.
Mind blown. God, every day's a school day.
Okay, next question. What ingredients work best to fade acne scars?
There's quite a few.
Yeah, there is a few. You can definitely use like acids, which is a nice way, and it exfoliates. And then also vitamin C.
Yeah. I personally love using something with niacinamide or ceramides. They're both really good for, niacinamides are good for texture and also brightening and smoothing. Ceramides are really good for your skin barrier and like just keeping it really healthy and moisturized.
Niacinamide is super good, and CeraVe actually has their own one, and it's in their like OG moisturizer. It's called facial moisturizing lotion, and it has that ingredient in it, and it's a moisturizer. So
So when would
super
you put
easy.
that into your routine?
I definitely say do that in the day. And of course, guys, wear SPF afterwards.
But also, CeraVe have the SPF in their moisturizer
Yes,
as well.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
Because
really
that's
good.
quite good when you've got it
Easy.
combined.
Yeah.
Because then it's one thing you don't have to forget.
easy one.
Exactly.
There
There's
you go.
no excuse now because I feel a lot of people don't like wearing it because it messes up your makeup or people get spots. But for brands like this, like it just gets it right. It's not going to mess up your makeup. It's not going to give you spots. It's got all the good stuff.
And
in
it's
it, so-
affordable. That's the key
Exactly.
thing for me.
What is your AM PM routine? Lou, actually, maybe you should speak a bit about like how it should differentiate in the morning and the night. Any tips?
It does depend on your skin type, which is always annoying to say, but it does. I don't always think you should use a full-on cleanser in the morning because it can kind of dry your skin out, especially if you have dry skin. I
Okay.
have like dry skin. So me in the morning, again, simple. You just need to kind of hydrate your skin. You know, we've slept, etc. Make it happy. So simple serum, something hydrating with like hyaluronic acid in it, moisturizer and SPF. And then obviously the difference at night, you have to take off either your skincare. I think a lot of people sometimes think about if they're not like wearing makeup, they don't have to wash their face at night. Definitely obviously cleansing at night is the first step. And then you can again put on a serum, or you can also incorporate like an exfoliant acid and things like that if you want. Moisturizer, you can stop there, and you can put an oil. So I'd say in the evening is where you put more,
Yeah.
Okay.
and in the morning is where you make it way more simple.
I also feel like you can really tie it into like your nighttime routine and make it quite wholesome and like add in some body care and like bits like that because you use something, don't you, from CeraVe
Yeah, so
on your
I
body?
use the SA moisturizer, and that comes in a big tub or
Oh, yeah.
like just a big
Nice.
tube. And I find when I do a lot of exercise and I'm wearing gym leggings and things, I sometimes, I know it's a bit nasty, but get a few sort of bumps on the bum.
Yeah, it's the texture.
Yeah, texture, just a bit of texture. And I put that on after the shower and it just clears everything up. And also I know that people also use it if they have, I don't know the technical term for it, but people call it strawberry skin.
Yeah.
And people use the CeraVe SA moisturizer for that as well, and apparently that's really good. So that is definitely my holy grail CeraVe product. I go bang on about it, recommend it to everyone. But what about you guys? What is your number one CeraVe product?
Ooh, mine's definitely the blemish control cleanser. I really like that.
And mine is still the gel foaming cleanser. Again, I'm sorry, but I do love gels.
So the one that I've been using is the green one, and it's the hydrating cream to foam cleanser.
Oh yeah, that's
Been
a good
loving
one.
that, especially for dry skin.
Well, guys, it's been great to have you on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
for having
us.
me. It's
And
been
that
so
was
fun.
episode 12 wrapped up.
Woo! There we go.
Bye.
Bye.